How's it going? Guys, I'm a little sad today, small sad, but again, I'm only sad in a good way. We're just taking a break from the podcast to figure out how to make the podcast better, to give you guys the content that you deserve, and to give you guys the clothing line that you deserve as well. We're almost done, but we want to be able to start printing these and putting these out and actually giving the opportunity for people to come together, men and women, and we want you guys to be able to wear these t-shirts. So we're working on cool functioning designs that we're hoping to hit the market this summer, for you guys to start buying and add you guys the best value that you deserve. Plus, also with our content, we want to create engaging content. You see, that's the biggest difference. Anybody can create content, but is your content engaging? Is it content that the audience actually cares about? Right? So we actually want, over here in the Love and Relationship Conversations podcast, want to create content that you, the consumer, actually care about. So we're taking some time to step away to do that. So again, we want to be able to add the highest level of value to you guys, because sometimes it breaks my heart when the value is not there, right? And I'm always competitive with myself, right? So we're going to take the time to step away, to come back, to give you guys the content that you deserve. With that being said, today's topic is going to be a very interesting one, right? It's a video breakdown. It's 5 types of people that are going to do you wrong. Now, why I wanted to cover this one as the last one, it's just because a lot of times we're not very aware, or we lack the level of self awareness of who is good for us and who isn't. So a lot of times we're entertaining people longer than they should be entertained for, right? So that's why we're going to break down his points and what he has to say, and hopefully it helps you with your heightened level of awareness when it comes to the decisions that you're going to make on who it decides who's going to be in your life. Now, before I get started, I also want you guys to understand what this channel is. We're not a dating and relationship channel. We are just a channel that likes to have open, candid conversations to help add value to people, either it's in dating, relationships, or just their personal life. Because you know what? Me and my business partner, and I'm hoping to speak on her behalf, is we both suffered in that area of dating, right? Because a lot of times we'll just say, oh, it's just an experience. It's just an experience. It's like, no, you could have did better. You could have picked better. You could have been better. You could have made a better choice, right? And that's what we want to help people do, make better choices when it comes to their dating and relationships. Logical choices, not emotional choices. We're not saying that you can't be emotional, but never let the emotions override the logic, right? A lot of times we'll date somebody because they make us feel good, they check off all these boxes, but there's a bunch of big red flags which you'll ignore, and that ends up biting you in the butt later on in the relationship. And we don't want that. I don't want that, guys. I've been there. I've dated people and I've ignored the red flags, and I'm telling you, heartbroken, crying every night, not knowing what to do with myself. And it's because I picked poorly. And I can own that on camera. So now I'm here to pick better. I'm here to do better. And we want to do the same thing for you guys, is to pick better and to be better. Because think about it, if we as a community help everybody become better, that means the dating market only gets better, right? So that's what our ending goal is on this podcast, is to help people date and be better so the dating market gets better. Right now the dating market's trash. But again, I think it's to each soul individual to make it better by being better. So again, let's jump into today's video. The link is going to be down below if you guys are going to want to watch the full thing, without my commentary, but we're going to offer the full video down below. So let's get into what he has to say. I'm going to mute my mic shortly, and then we're going to listen to what Trent Sheldon has to say. Fantastic person. I love his content. So let's hear what he has to say and let's get into it, guys. Let's have a fun time. This is the last stream for a bit. So let's enjoy ourselves.
Five types of people that will ruin your life. I could talk about 100, 1,000 types of people that will ruin your life. But today we're going to focus on five. If you're new, thank you. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, hit the like, comment. Let me know what you took from this. Let me know which one resonated with you most. But let's get right into this. Number one, all right, the user. This type of person is a person that only loves you just as much as they can use you. And to just be straight up with you, this person is not necessarily attracted to you. What I mean by that, they're not attracted to your heart. They're not attracted to who you are as a human being. This person is a person that is attracted to what I like to say surrounds your life. Okay, what surrounds your life. So maybe it's you're an athlete, maybe it's your job, maybe the significance that you have, maybe you're popular, maybe whatever it is. They're attracted to that. They're attracted to the benefits that come with you. They're attracted to the things that make them look good by being around you. They're attracted to what they can take from your life. And so the question that you have to ask yourself is, if all I had to offer was me, right? Friendship, whatever it may be, if all I had to offer was me, would this person still be in my life? And sometimes I'm not telling you to be cold-hearted and overthink, but if you have a question about somebody in your life, you think they're a user because all they do is take. All they do is never bring nothing to your life. They just take from your life. All they do is expect you to be there for them when they're never there for you, right? There's no reciprocation. And I always say, where there's no reciprocation, that relationship needs to be annihilated, because what's going to happen is you're going to allow this person to drain you. You're going to allow this person to just take from you. You're going to allow this person to drain your energy, drain your peace. And you're going to get to a point where you're starting to feel empty. And some of us watching this right now, you're empty is because you have a lot of users in your life. So what I would suggest to you is this. If you know somebody's a user or you think they might be a user, pull the rug from out under them, as I like to say. And what I mean by that is cut off that life supply. If you know they're using you for XYZ, then take away XYZ. If you know they're only loyal to the benefits that come with you, then take away those benefits. And you're going to see what it really is. You're going to see if they really love you for you, or they just love you for what they can take from you. Okay, so number one is the user. Number two.
Wow. That was powerful, guys. You see, look, and I can only speak for myself. I've been in those situations. I've been on both sides. I've been the user and I've been used. And it's not a very pleasant place to operate from. And I love what he said is, what are they contributing to your life? And you really have to ask that question. If they're contributing nothing to your life, if they only come to you when they need things, they need advice, they need time, they need attention, they need your resources. But when you look at it of the scales of balance, they add nothing to your life. What are they adding? They take from you when they need it, and when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. So you really need to ask yourself, and that's what I always try to tell people, reassess your surroundings, man. Reassess them. Don't be so accessible to people. Because I'm telling you, when you limit your access, you'll really see who cares about you. You'll really see who cares about you. Because when you're so accessible to people, they're going to take you for granted. They're like, oh, I know he's always going to be there. I know she's always going to be there. I know she's always going to do this, this, and this. Or he's going to do this, this, and this. I'm not saying that you have to look over your shoulder the rest of your life, but you should definitely be aware of what is around you, who is around you. That's why I limit my circle. If I see someone out in public and I haven't spoken to them forever, I'll say hi and I keep it moving. Because clearly, like, and I can only speak to myself, is in a lot of situations, I always try to maintain certain friendships. And if the person doesn't maintain it, because I always say this, sometimes saying nothing speaks volumes. Non-replied text messages, not replying back to phone calls, not making an effort speaks volumes on where you stand with this individual. So sometimes I love what he said. You have to pull the rug out from under them. No more access. You're finished. We don't need to talk anymore. And yes, sometimes people have things going on in their life, but when you see someone making an effort to kind of be in your life and you don't acknowledge that, and you only acknowledge it when it benefits you, you got to let them go. And you don't have to announce it to the world that you're letting them go. You just let them go. You don't need to talk to them no more. You don't have to say anything. You just let it be. So, again, that is point number one, the user. Be very careful of the user. I like to call them the user and the abuser because a lot of times they know that they're using you and they're just abusing their power in doing so because you care about them. So, we're going to move on to point number two.
Is the complainer. They will steal your peace by complaining about the same things that they aren't willing to change. Let me say this off top. I'm not telling you to no longer be a helper. I'm not telling you to no longer be there for people. But what I am telling you is to protect your peace. What I am telling you is to stop allowing people to dump their problems on your life. I love to say this because y'all know this is true, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna just be real with you. I love helping people with their problems until their problems become my problems. I love helping people through their problems and with their problems until their problem starts being a problem in my life. And a lot of times what happens is we allow complainers to keep bringing the same stuff over and over and over again. And what you do is you choose their problems over your peace. And sometimes it's necessary, right? When you have a good heart, you want to help people, you do that. But how many times are you going to choose their problems? The same things that you told them about, the same things that you helped them with, that you took time out your day to have an hour, 2-hour conversation, and they're keeping themselves in the same situation. They're keeping themselves in the same relationship. They're keeping themselves in the same friendship. They're keeping themselves in the same job, right? They complain to you about the job and they're doing nothing to position themselves to get out the job. So there comes a point in your life where you got to say, you know what? I'm no longer choosing their problems over my peace. I'm no longer choosing their pain over my peace. Never feel guilty for that, because what people will do once you start choosing your peace, once you hit them with the truth, like, listen, if you ain't gonna listen to me, if you ain't gonna take my advice, then stop bringing your problems to me. If you're not gonna even consider what I'm telling you, why are you coming to me? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Some people don't want to be helped, right? They just want to be pacified. They don't want the truth. They just want a beautiful lie to make them feel good about staying in a situation they're doing nothing about. And I want to tell you this. You cannot save people. And some people might disagree with me with this in the comments, but I got to be real with you. You can't save someone unless that person wants to be saved. It reminded me when I was drowning, like literally, I can laugh about it now, but I was drowning. I did a mud run. Some of you know the story, but I was drowning. And I was fighting for my life because I wanted to be saved. There was a guy that jumped in the water and he actually helped me save myself. But if that guy would have jumped in the water and I continued to drown, I didn't want to be saved and I pushed him away, I didn't fight to save my life or stay afloat, I would have died. And some of you, you're that person. You're trying to save somebody and help somebody that clearly doesn't want to be helped. And it doesn't mean that you quit on them. Sometimes you got to plant seeds and leave. Sometimes you got to learn how to love people and help people from a distance. Because the more you try to pull someone up that wants to stay down, I can guarantee you this, They will bring you down faster than you can bring them up. Never feel guilty for choosing not to be somebody's go-to for their situations that they're allowing themselves to keep themselves in. You don't have to be the go-to for someone else's pain. You don't have to be the go-to for someone else's problems, especially when they're choosing to keep themselves in it. So number 2 is the complainer.
I'm going to speak some truth here, guys. I didn't know what to call it, but he hit the nail right on the head. Stop allowing people to dump their problems on you. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't want to help. It doesn't mean you don't want to assist. It doesn't mean you don't want to make a difference. But when their problems become your problems, now it's a problem. When they come to you to complain about situations that they don't want to change, that's a problem. Right? Because now they're wasting your time, they're wasting your attention, they're wasting your energy. Right? And I've noticed that too, especially with what I do, the coaching and the helping, is people will come to me about the same problem, about the same guy, same girl, and I'm like, didn't we just have a conversation about this? Why is this still a problem? It shouldn't be a problem. Like, especially if the person's taking an hour out of their day to help you, you should either take that advice or not go to that person again. Because I love what he said. Some people just want to be coddled. They just want to come to you because you know that you're gonna tell them, oh, it's okay, it's okay. Like, no, I'm not here to coddle you. I'm not here for that. I'm either gonna tell you a cold hearted truth that you're not gonna want to hear, that you're not gonna like, but it will benefit your life and make your life better, because coddling it's unacceptable. And that's what he's saying. A lot of people go to people, the complainer will go to somebody just to complain. They don't want to change anything. They just want to complain about something. So again, and I love what he said, some people you have to help them from a distance. And I'm a big believer in that. You plant seeds and you move. You don't stay. You plant seeds and you move. Because if you stay and you're trying to help and you're trying to do all these things, you can end up drowning with them. And that doesn't serve your purpose at all. Hurts you more than it helps you. So, as I like to say, guys, you need to figure out who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a complainer and they don't want to change things, help them from a distance. Plant some seeds, but keep it moving. On to point number 3.
Number 3 is the blamer, right? They always try to make you feel guilty and they never accept responsibility. This is the type of person, and all these people will ruin your life, especially if you got multiple people. Some of you got multiple people in each category. But this is the type of person that is always pointing the finger. They live life like this. It's always your fault. It's always their fault. It's always everybody else's fault. But they never look within themselves and point the thumb and say, you know what? It's on me. You know what? I'm going to take responsibility over my life. They blame you for situations that they're choosing to keep themselves in. They blame you for their unhappiness when they're choosing to keep themselves in things that make them unhappy. They blame you for a toxic life when they're choosing to keep themselves around things that contribute to that toxic life. And what I see a lot of you do is you start to feel bad. You start to be like, man, maybe it is my fault. Maybe it is my fault because I didn't do more for them. Maybe it is my fault because, I wasn't there the way that they thought I should be there. And I want to tell you this, and I want you to hear me clear. There is no perfection you can provide to someone that is committed to keeping themselves in an environment that is ruining their life. There is no perfection you can provide to someone that's committed to blaming you for everything. No matter what perfection you give, you can do everything right. Everything right. But this is the type of person or people that will always find the wrong, even in the right that you do. And the more you keep these blamers around your life, the more they're going to drain your energy, drain your peace, and drain your sanity. Number 3 is the blamer. Number 4.
The blamer. That's a very interesting one. And I'll tell you guys why I find that one very interesting in a second here. The blamer. That's the person blaming for everyone else around like blaming everyone else for their problems except for them. They take no accountability. Zero accountability. They just kind of say, "Oh, it's your fault. It's your fault." They want to take no action. And they'll point the finger at you saying that you don't do enough, you don't give enough, you don't do this, you don't do that, when they're asking for a level of perfection that's not even real. And let's be honest, a lot of times when you're dealing with those type of people, with people that don't take accountability, it's very hard to be in relationships and friendships with them because of the fact that everything's going to always be your fault. There's never going to be, hey, like I messed up here, or I made this mistake. It's just you. It's everyone else. It's their job, it's their work, it's their parents, it's the economy, it's space aliens. It's always someone else's fault, but never their own. Especially when they keep choosing bad situations that hinder their success. It's like at the end of the day, it's like that's a you problem, right? And you need to be an adult, and you need to be a mature adult about it, and say, maybe I messed up here. Maybe I made a small little mistake where I could do better. So again, be very careful with those ones, with the blamers. So we're going to move on to point number 4.
Four is the competitor. All right. This is the type of person. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This is the type of person that wants you to do good, for the most part, as long as you don't do better than them. I believe in healthy competition. But what I don't believe in is friends competing with friends. What I don't believe in is that somebody's in your circle, in your life, always trying to outdo you, right? And it's this type of person. Anytime you talk about something good happening in your life, they got to one up you. You know what that means? Is that they got to talk about something good that's happening in their life. I call it selfish communication. Somebody that's a competitor in your life, because I'm going to be real with you. Some of you are in competition with people and you don't even know it. But you wonder why you get around them and the energy feel a little different. You wonder why they don't cheer for you and clap for you when you win as much as they used to. You wonder why they don't like your posts. You wonder why they don't show up for you. You wonder why they don't support you. Because in their mind, you winning in your life equals they're losing. In their mind, you doing better means that they doing worse. And you ain't even thinking about this. This ain't even on your radar. But you wonder why, like, man, their energy seem off. Man, when I bring something that's good happening to my life, they don't really act like they care. Man, they always trying to belittle me. A competitor will always trying to belittle you. Always put the word little around things that you're doing. Because they want to make you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You're not elevating your life. You're not making the world respect your greatness. Because they want to tear you down to build themselves up. These are people in your life, man, that you cannot have around you because they're filled with jealousy. They're filled with envy. And the more that you climb, these are the people that usually find conflict, right? The more that you climb. These are the people that you usually have conflict with because as you continue to win, for one, they might feel responsible for that. But for two, they can't be happy for you because they're not in a happy place in your life. So some of you literally have people in your life that aren't wishing the best for you. Some people in your life, and as bad as this sounds, some people in your life aren't praying for you to make it. Some people in your life aren't praying for you to be the best version of yourself. Some people in your life aren't praying for you to succeed. And oftentimes, and sometimes, it's the person that's next to you. And I don't want you to overthink people in your life, but trust the vibes that they give you. Listen to their words that they're saying. I talked about selfish communication. Selfish communication is when someone, and let me know in the comments if you know somebody like this. Selfish communication is when someone is always making the conversation about them, right? They always make the conversation about them. I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes what I do is I make up something that I know they know nothing about just to see if they're going to act like they know something about it. You talk about, oh, I'm doing this. They got to say, oh, I'm doing this too. They always make the conversation about them. So when people use selfish communication, oftentimes those are people that will probably be competitors in your life, all right? Not the healthy competition, not the competition that pushes you to be better, but the competition that's actually hoping that you don't succeed as much as you can. Number 4 is the competitor.
Okay, so let's talk about number 4. Number 4 is the competitor. That one's an interesting one. Those ones, to me, they're sneaky links. They want you to do well, but never as well as them. And he brought up some interesting points. He brought up the point that anytime you try to talk about things, they try to pull it towards themselves. They're more interested in shining up their accomplishments and belittling yours, and pushing you down to a place where it's like you never feel like you're good enough. Competition is always fantastic in a friendship. Healthy competition, not one where you're always trying to compete with your friend. If I'm friends with someone, why do I want to have to compete with you? That should be the last thing I want to do. I wouldn't want to have to compete with my friend. Like, I love that person. I care about them. I want to cheer on your successes. I want to cheer on your wins. Just like I'd want you to do that for me. But I don't want to have to compete with you, only unless it's on a healthy level, unless we're talking about how we can both do something to elevate each other. But I'm not going to compete with you and then belittle your successes. I want you to do better. And that's the thing. We have to ask ourselves, why would you be friends with someone that you don't want to see them do better than you? It's not a competition. It's not like, oh, they did this, they have this, and I'm here. Like, no, like, stop looking at someone else's life and start looking at someone else's character. So we're going to move on to point number 5, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Last but not least, number 5, the abuser. Okay? If you keep people in your life that are committed to abusing you, and I'm not talking about physical abuse, right? That's part of it too, for sure. But I'm talking about that emotional abuse, because this is an abuse that we don't really see often. Well, it's not as in the forefront. Like when somebody physically abuses us, we know that person doesn't care about us. But there's people in our life that will subliminally, emotionally abuse us. And some of us, what we do is we keep giving people chances. I'm a firm believer in chances, y'all. I do. I believe in that. But there comes a point when you got to put your foot down, because the more chances you give, the less respect people will start to have for you, because they know, oh, no matter what, I'm going to have another chance. No matter what, I have another chance to abuse them, right? The abuser person that abuses your forgiveness, that abuses your trust, that abuses your loyalty, right? So they know that I can always pull this person back, because they know exactly what to do to pull you back. They know exactly how to secure your insecurities. They know exactly how to fill the voids in your life. They know exactly what to say, how to apologize, the words to use to make you think that they change. You got to stop giving people opportunity to abuse your loyalty, right? Don't allow your loyalty to keep you in a situation that is ruining your life. Don't allow your loyalty to become your slavery. Loyalty isn't staying in a situation and giving people chance after chance after chance. That's stupidity, to be honest with you. You got to be loyal to yourself first, and that's not a selfish thing. You got to be loyal to your principles first, because the people that respect your principles will appreciate your loyalty. Some of you are allowing people to abuse your forgiveness. We're staying in situations where words are making us think that they change instead of action. I am deaf to what you say until your actions give me a reason to listen. You got to stop allowing words to pull you back. You got to stop allowing promises to pull you back. You got to accept change behavior. And I'm not just talking about change behavior for the moment, because anybody change for you for the moment, anybody change for you for a week or for a month to show you that they quote unquote change. I'm talking about consistent change. And I'll tell you this, you know somebody has changed when their change has nothing to do with you. So if you know somebody has issues that are bigger than you and they work on those issues, then you know that person's really committed to changing. But if they just change the things that they did to you, then that's typical, right? Most people will do that so they can gain your trust back. But if you keep abusers in your life, you will ruin your life. So I want to tell you, man, this is not a session to make you overthink things. But if you have questions over and over and over about certain people in your life, then you probably got your answer. I don't want you overanalyzing people that have been good to you. I don't want you overanalyzing things that don't need to be overanalyzed. But if you've been around a user, if you've been around a complainer, if you got these people in your life, you got a blamer, you got a person that's always competing with you, you got a person that's been abusing you over and over and over again, you got to make a choice. You got to take ownership over your life and say, you know what?
Okay, so I really like that one, the abuser. And I think a lot of people put themselves in that situation dealing with an abuser. Now, sometimes it is physical, but a lot of times it's emotional, right? And what I mean by this is you'll allow somebody to apologize to you in a certain way because they know how to get under your skin. They know exactly what to do, how to do it to get back into your life, right? And they know that you'll always take them back. That's the problem, right? That's an abuser. They know I can do X, Y, and Z, and even if I do it, I'll take them back. But I love what he said though about change. Someone, when they want to make a change, it shouldn't be for you. You shouldn't be the center of that change. The person should be able to acknowledge to say, hey, like my behavior is out of pocket in general. I need to stop acting this way and be better. And I think that's where it's the most important because, like, again, we've all been on both sides. We've either been like the emotional abuser or we've been abused. And at the end of the day, we really need to start looking at ourselves and saying, how can we be better? Right? Not just for ourselves, but for the people that we interact with, who we deal with on a day to day basis. Right? Can we look in the mirror and be pleased with who we are and the decisions that we make every time going forward? So that's how I honestly like to look at things. And I love that he said that a lot of times an abuser will speak to you a certain way, come back into your life, do the same behavior. You'll kick them out, bring them back in. And I'm not a firm believer in that. At some point, you got to draw the line. At some point, you got to say enough is enough. I've given you XYZ chances. Clearly, you don't respect this relationship or what it is we have. I have to let you go and stop giving them access, because continued access allows continued disrespect. That's what I personally believe. When you continuously keep letting someone back into your life, you're allowing disrespect each and every single time because you're not putting a stop to it. You're doing nothing about it. You might complain about it, but you're doing nothing about it, as in the sense of analyzing it and saying, well, hey, this is probably not the best relationship or friendship for me to be in. And these 5 points doesn't mean that you need to look over your shoulder or that you need to be in a place of fear or think that everyone's out to get you. No, you need to be able to identify the good people from the bad ones. You need to be able to do that. And if you can't do that, you need to figure out how to do it. You can't be in just inviting everyone and anyone into your life to do whatever they want, however they want to do it. You're setting yourself up for pain. And again, you need to know that, because again, when people don't have these boundaries, you become bitter, you become cynical, you become all these things and just think everyone's always out to get you. So again, with that being said, like honestly, like even doing this podcast, people, the most support that we get is from people that we don't know. And again, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It surprises me that a lot of people call us, like our community, like me and my business partner Anthea, they say that they're our friends, but they actually don't support the content at all. They watch the content, but they don't support it. You know what I mean? So honestly, like that is a heightened level of awareness that you can pay attention to, is you really know who's in your corner and you really know who's not in your corner when you're doing certain things or when you're behaving certain ways or just when you're trying to become better. So with that being said, guys, we're going to see you guys soon in a week or two. We really appreciate everything, the whole community. As I said, none of this would be possible without you. And thank you for the supports, the likes, the comments, all of it. And please follow us on all social media platforms. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.